Hey guys, good morning. It's Thursday morning. If I can get this out to you for Thursday night, I will. If I can't, I can't. I'll do what I can. Not going to be much activity outside today because it's raining. It's supposed to be rainy all day. Got some heavier storms coming in pretty quick. Ben's using my car, and Ben says, I only had one wreck. Well, yeah, Ben, it can happen. Over time, we accumulate batteries, and I replaced all those golf cart batteries, a few months ago. I don't like them sitting around, but you can't just dump them. You got to recycle them, or should. So I told Ben, go down and get them and take them to a recycling place down here in New Caney. And whatever he gets for them, he can have the money for them. I want him to get off his place. I don't like a bunch of old batteries stacked up. They start leaking or whatever. But anyway, so that's what he's doing this morning with my van. I said, you better put down about 3 layers of tarp in the back of that van and make sure ain't none of them leaking. And when you stack them in there. So that's what he's doing. G has got an appointment this morning, so I'm going to be here babysitting little Coda Bear too. And she's asleep right now, and I've waited to slacked up and we'll feed up real quick. If it doesn't slack up, we're just going to wait till it does slack up. All the cows and they're all out grazing anyway, so it's not a big deal. And I'm glad we're getting the rain. I'm glad we're getting it. Chickens are all out. They don't care. The chickens don't care. Goats are all inside their house. So, little girl here, little Bootsy, has already eat. Woody and all of them have eat. Cats have eat. So I'm just going to sit here and see what the weather does for a few minutes. And I may go out to my little old kitchen here a little bit before G leaves and put me on a pot of coffee out there. I think that'd be a neat thing to do this morning. It's kind of cool. It's raining. Can't do a whole lot else. So let's walk out there and build a fire. Let's go. There's a little fire going. Well, you gotta have a lighter going first. Hang on. I could have rubbed 2 sticks together, but I chose to use a lighter. And I think that lighter is about done for. I think. This one will. All right. Get a fire going in here. And we'll just wait a few minutes. We'll have some coffee going here. Ben loaded them batteries up. I'm glad I was out here. He put tarp in there. I said just stack them, and there's as many as you can take, but I don't stack them up. I go out, and he's got them stacked up about head high. No, they'll fall over. You hit the brakes, they're going to fall over. You get battery acid, maybe. Supposed to. Don't haul them like that, Ben. Don't haul them like that. Anyway, he unloaded some, so I'll take another load later on. I said, okay, that's fine. Take another load later on. That'll work. So. All right, get this thing going here. I want to get back out here and start cooking, guys. It's been so much. Every time we get one project done, two more have stacked up. And I'm not complaining, and that's good. I think it's good to have something to do, you know. I do. I enjoy projects. But at the same time, I like sitting around sometimes too. You got to sit on my hand. I'm gonna wash my hands up here a little bit, and as soon as this coffee gets to drink perking, we'll have a cup of coffee. Okay. You know, I was looking at some of those. We talked about some of the old timers and the sayings that they come up with. You know, I got a lot of you guys responded, and well, it feels nice and warm next to this heater here. There's one from Cindy. Cindy Bilbo. And she said, here's some that she remembers. Something till the cows come home. In other words, they're going to wait till the cows come home, which may be a while. Bell cow. You ever heard that saying, bell cow? Well, back in the old days, okay, and maybe someplace they still do it. It's not uncommon. The lead cow. You know, a lot of cows have a dominant cow in the herd. A dominant cow. Even back in the old woods cows, when they run loose in the woods years and years ago, there was always an old dominant cow that most of the cows followed. They'd put a cowbell on her, a cowbell, and she would be called the bell cow. And we used to talk about and laugh about it at work. We had a lady that several of the guys there would call the old bell cow because she was so domineering, you know, say it that way. She was just in your face. And an old bell cow, from experience, my dad had some. From experience, an old bell cow, when they come in the barn in the wintertime, whatever, you know, the barn be open for them to come in out of the bad weather, she'd come in and stand at the gate, but nobody else would come in. Right inside the barn door, you stand there. The others stand out in the rain. A bell cow. And you have to go pin her butt up so the others can come in out of the rain. Old bell cow. And another one, she says, if you're not the lead dog, the scenery never changes. In other words, if you're not the lead dog, you got the same view. Mile after mile. If you're not running with the big dogs, you might as well stay on the porch. I've heard that many times. You can't run with the big dog, stay on the porch. That's funny. Raining cats and dogs. In other words, it don't rain cats and dogs. It comes down, it pours sometimes. It's raining here, but not like that. Don't look a gift horse in the mouth. That words don't, you know, if somebody gives you something, don't be negative to them. And she said one that she hates, but she's heard it all of her life. 2 ways to skin a cat. Well, I've never skinned a cat. I don't know. But yeah, I understand what you're saying. 2 ways to do something, okay? Always 2 ways to do something. You kill 2 birds with 1 stone. We've all heard that. That's a good one. Blood is thicker than water. Yeah, I've heard that many a time too. Start dealing with kin folks with blood's thicker than water. An early bird gets the worms. The guy that gets out early or gets up, don't mean get out there after a worm. You out, you know, you're on the ball. You're on the ball. You don't procrastinate, as she says I do. You get up and get going. Early bird gets the worm. That was just a lot of them she was talking about. Thank you, Cindy, for those. Honey Frazier. Eat a peck of dirt before you die. I've heard that. I never really understood it that well, but I've heard that before, so it's not something I haven't heard. Most of those sayings are not just regional or like northern or southern or another country. A lot of those things just been passed around forever, you know, and uh, they mean the same thing wherever you at. Uh, this lady said her grandmother, when it's raining and the sun is shining, that meant the devil was beating his wife behind the kitchen door. I've heard that. You go out, it's raining, the sun's shining, and say, well, the devil's beating his wife today. Okay, I don't know what that meant, but that's what they'd say. I love it. I love it. She got a kick out of it when I said tear the bone out. I was talking about doing something. I'll just tear the bone out. Well, that means I'm going to really do a good job. I'm going to be in a hurry. I'm going to just get it done right, you know. So it was a lot of fun there. That's from Julie Pope. There's a whole bunch of them. I'm not going to be able to go through all of them today. We can do some off and on. This one here from Kathy said her grandma used to say, I'm tired like I've been ironing. Well, in the old days, ironing was a chore. You know, it's probably still a chore. Ironing. But in the old days, they had to heat that old iron on a stove like this right here. It sit on that stove. There's old cast iron, weigh a bunch. I've got a couple. Sit on there, let it heat up, then they'd go to the ironing board and iron. And usually they'd have 2 or 3. That way, because when one would be, you'd iron until it got cool, it wasn't really good, you'd put it back on the stove and get another one. That way they kept alternating back and forth. I've got 2 that belong to my grandmother. And I've seen her iron many a clothes because they use wood heat. And iron a lot of stuff, you know, even in the summertime, so a hot ironing board, that wood heater going so she can keep her irons hot. Now it's wash and wear. You know, wash and wear. That's from Kathy. I appreciate that, Kathy. That's sweet. Okay, I got one here. Let's see. This is from Rebecca. She always heard folks talking about not planting until after Easter. There's always a freeze before Easter, and there is. Probably up north there are heavy freeze. Could be down here too, but we do get a cool spell right before Easter, and this may be it we've got now, and we may get one next week. I'm not for sure, but we always get a cool spell before Easter. Not so much a frost, you know, or anything. And we was talking about planting, I think, and planting crops. My dad would go by his almanac, which would give the signs of the moon and all that kind of stuff all the time. But most of his planting, I guess it was acceptable on a lot of it, was done on Good Friday. Good Friday, and it may have been that was his off day or something before he retired. You know, he was maybe off on Good Friday. But Good Friday become kind of a standard in our old home growing up. It's when we're going to be doing the garden, you know, and it was a family affair. We all worked in the garden, you know, every mom, dad, kids, all of us. We all had chores in the garden. Looking back, it was good family time. At the time, it probably taken away from playing. I didn't like it. Just take away from my playtime. But looking back, it was enjoyable times. And I think this way most of us are as we get older. We look back at times that we thought was chores, and we see that it was kind of a fun time. All right, I'm gonna check my coffee. Hang on. Our coffee is just about ready. How'd it go? Cecilia Henderson says, her mom said, never plant flowers or the garden before Mother's Day. But Mother's Day usually around here. Now that may be true up north. Down here, we way past garden time, Mother's Day. I mean, it comes later, you know, and gardens By that time, we're really doing well down in here in the south. If we don't plant early, I'll tell you what our problem is here. If we don't plant early, our summers can get dry, hot and dry. You know, like last year, what, 60, 70 days of 30, 40 days of above 100. Yeah, no rain, wind blowing. That dries your garden out, and a water hose can't keep up. Can't keep up. There's nothing like the rain for your garden. Just something about it. It does. You can irrigate all you want, and that'll keep it alive, maybe keep it going, but it's not going to do what Mother Nature, what God can send down on it. Yeah. All right. I think my coffee's ready, guys. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. It's like camp coffee. It's like camp coffee. You ever drink camp coffee? It's tough. My old grandpa, I think that's all he ever knew was camp coffee. That's probably all we're going to talk about right now on this here. But my old grandpa would take a coffee pot, like this one here, you know, like a little coffee pot, pour water in it. I've seen him do it with a coffee can. Just fill it full of water and take a handful or two of coffee grounds and dump them in it. Set it on the old wood stove and let it go. It'll start boiling. It'll start boiling. Pour him a cup out of there, and it would have grounds in it. Now people say, oh, you can do this to it, the grounds will settle, you can do that. Well, they would settle. But that last swallow, you had to be careful. You get a mouthful of ground, so usually you get down almost to the bottom, and you pour some more in it. And when it got low, he'd pour more water in it and dump more grounds in it. And just keep on boiling. It is boil all day long. It'd sit there on that old stove, just boiling away, you know. And after a while, at some point, he'd take it off, I guess, and empty it out and start over. Yeah, I call that camp coffee. That's the way we do it on the camp. Just, you know, grounds in a pot, pour water in it, put it over the fire and let it go. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Good coffee, though. It's strong, but it's good. All right, I'm back. I had to go do some chores outside in the rain. I put my jacket on. Kathleen, her grandparents from the Dakotas used to say, if God is willing and the creeks don't rise. Well, I don't know about creeks rising. And I believe I know about God's will at times. I like that. If God's willing and the creek don't rise, we can do anything. What you said our grandparents used to tell us. And that's so true. Thanks, Kathleen. All right, this is from Carol, okay? Carol Cardacy. You had to tell me how to pronounce her last name. She was always told, and remember this, if the squirrels had bushy tails, it would be a bad winter, okay? If someone gave you a purse of any kind, it had to have a penny in it. Or if you gave one, you had to put a penny in it. Now, I was told most things about a pocket knife. If you give a pocket knife to someone, always have the blade facing you, not them. And always, I was also told, give a pocket knife to someone, give a coin with it. And she says something like this, if someone gives you a gift of something sharp like a knife or scissors, you had to give them a coin, okay? And if you bought new shoes and took them out of the bag, do not set them on the table. She also remembered her grandma Color reminds me of my dad too. Mixing rubbing alcohol and sprigs of rosemary. And anytime you had an ache or pain, you should rub it on. Her grandmother rub it on you. It helps, she said. My dad had some cures. I'll tell you that. He was our doctor. All right, thank you, Carol. All right, here's Julie in Australia. Talk about luck, bad luck. Like black cats that don't put new shoes on tables or open umbrellas inside because it can bring you bad luck. You see, that's kind of similar to what Carol talked about, the shoes on the table. And this is in Australia. See, these little sayings, they're worldwide sometimes. They're worldwide, and I think that's fascinating. Thanks, Judy. I think that may be it for right now. If I missed yours, I'll be looking at them. I'll see it. I'll find it. So that's all I see on here right now on my emails. Anyway, I'm going to have another cup of coffee because may as well drink, right? May as well drink. Ooh, doggy. I love it out here. I love hearing that rain on this tin roof. Drinking hot coffee, sitting by a warm fire. Bad thing was, Roman was sitting up here by the sink watching me, just sitting there by the camera. He reached over, and it's not hot, I put my head on it, but he's gonna walk over on it. He touched it. I'm glad it wasn't real hot, but I put my head on, no burn on this edge here. If he'd have jumped over here, he could have burned his feet down. He'll learn. Do not touch the wood heat. Well, Jean's about to leave for her appointment. I'm going to go in and sit with a little Coda bear who's taking a nap. And little girl's in here by the heat lamp. She says, I'm not coming out, that rain pop on. I'm not coming out. She sleeps in that crate at night. And she gets to come out there in the daytime. The little crate's sitting next to the heat light, and she has a pad I put in there at night so it's soft and dry, and that way she don't get too hot but she don't get too cold. That's getting plenty of water. Yeah, it might be. Let's move that a little bit. Just right now. Yeah, get that out of the water a little bit. Yeah, it's coming down, yes. Let's see. I love it. Well, you ain't got to do nothing. This is awesome. Your rainy weather is good for a lot of things. yeah, it is. It's good for a lot of things. I love it. I see the smoke coming out of my little chimney out there. Oh, I'm so sad. Been a little fire going to waste. I got to come in and sit with Coda bear. It's okay. It's okay. Guys, you know, I've got 2 or 3 videos out at night this week. I don't know how it worked out like that. I was able to get a couple of days ahead. And we get a couple of days ahead, then when I do something during the day, I can kind of post it at night. I don't always get ahead. So if you get a video at night, it's usually because I'm a day or two ahead of myself. You know, I'm a little bit ahead. And I'm hoping I can put this one out tonight also. Anyway, I'm going to go in and take care of the cultivar. We'll talk again in a little bit. My friend Ronnie Neal was telling me that some old folks used to say when the whippoorwill, you hear the whippoorwill at night, it's time to start planting cotton. And another one was, he said, if you're milking your cow and you spill the milk on the ground or you spray the milk on the ground, the cow will dry up. She'll stop giving milk. So that's pretty neat. Oh, I love these old sayings like that. Anyway, I'm going to get this thing out to you guys. I'll talk to y'all a bit. You know, I'm going to finish this video up, and it's just steadily raining out there. You can't do anything outside. My friend Steve in Tennessee told me one of the old saying, and I may have got it wrong the other day. I think he said when his grandmother said you see butterflies, it's time to take the shoes off and put them up. It's time to go barefooted. And that sounds like an old saying. And I believe that's what he told me, the butterflies, when you see butterflies. Because I'd mentioned one about when my grandpa said when you see the pecan tree put out, winter's over. But, you know, there's a lot of them that you guys have mentioned I've heard of before. And I know there's a world more of them out there. There's got to be a world of them out there. And as they come in, we'll try to do a few on a video, okay? I'm inside the house now babysitting. Little girl's in there watching a cartoon. And she called me to her door and she says she wanted crackers. And I said, what? Crackers? I said, crackers? Yes, crackers. I said, you want 1, 2, 3, or 4? She goes, okay, I'll bring her 4. She's a sweetheart. And she just left, so it's all on me now. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this video. It's about some old sayings that people had. I enjoy things like that because it takes me back to my grandparents and my dad and stuff, you know. Some of those things they used to say, and which to people today would make no sense, you know. But back in the old days, and I want to mention something else I want to share with you. I had someone telling me the other day, a lot of folks today, younger folks, don't have a lot of clue of their ancestors or where they come from or things back behind them, you know. And I think a lot of that's because it seems like we all have more ways to entertain ourselves. TV being a big one. I remember as a little boy, we got TV about when I was 7 years old, I think. Maybe 8. Got electricity when I was 7. Maybe 9 when we got a TV. I don't know. But anyway, I remember, and I've heard my mom and dad them talk about it so many times, it got kind of like nighttime. You know, chores were done outside, and people sit on their porches or in the living rooms, depending on the weather and stuff, and just around the light, you know, fire, you know, or light, whatever it may have been, and just talk about family stories, old time stuff. And that's how these stories got spread down and passed on generation to generation. And a lot of folks don't do that no more. You know, I've sort of like a family history, family tree. I may not ever complete it. I'm one day just going to print it all up. I got a copy. I can just make copies of it and give it to my kids and say, there, that's all I got. You might want to find something yourself later on. I've been doing it since 1990. You know, just pass on what I know. And they can always add to it. But anyway, people don't pass that stuff on no more. Too much other entertainment, you know. Kids come in from school, it's TV or games, you know. They may come in and eat, and they go right back to what they're doing. It's not no family time, sitting around talking about the old stuff. And people probably be bored to death today doing it. Not me. I love it. All right, guys, I'm going to get this out to you. I love you. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like button. Share with a friend. They might enjoy some of these old sayings from not only here, but Australia and places like that. You see, we all got the same old stuff. We're all kindred spirits. I love you guys. Y'all take care. See you guys later.